Billson, is SoCon John Hooper. You can read him at midmajorsports.com. You can read, that's basically basketball. Football, herosports.com. He covered both the Southern Conference and Big South Media Days for him, for herosports.com. And also, Medium. He's still doing his stuff on Medium. Hey, I want to ask you about that. I see you're going still on Medium. How come Hero isn't paying you to do your positional rankings for the Southern Conference? Because they're pretty good. Who do I have to talk to? What cheapskate is down there at herosports.com that makes you keep doing them on Medium instead of Hero Sports?
Well, actually, they haven't, according to my boss or supervisor down there, they just haven't got my information to where I can go into the back end of the website and enter information. And so I believe he said August 2nd it will be ready.
Okay.
So that's why I've been sharing stuff on Medium. But, I figured anyway, not only for them, but anyway you can get your story out there to maybe have readers that read one and don't read the other, or vice versa. So, I just try to do what I can. So.
Well, I'd say there are two areas of thought, and one is that you're writing for free. And when I read on Medium, I think I made like $1.50 or something, because you're supposed to get paid by the hit, but it's just, if you don't sign up for their big things, and if you don't do this sort of, then you're just not going to make any money off of Medium. I mean, it's sort of a lure so that they can get a lot of stuff there. But and also Medium, although they do have sports content, it's not. I don't think it's their bread and butter, that sort of thing.
Right.
It's basically, I have it on there so that, okay, if you didn't hear Marky's monologue, or you don't want to sit through 10 minutes of me talking about it, then you can go in here and have a 4-minute read, that sort of thing, or a 2-minute read, or whatever it is. I do that to promote the show, because the show needs promotion. However, I will say that, yes, I do respect people that, both ways of thinking. First of all, hey, pay me. Especially in this day and age where there are a million people say, sure, you can write. Now we'll do it for free. We're just starting out. Okay, 7 years Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, covered the NFL, Major League Baseball. Thank you. No, I don't need that. I got 150 a story from New York Metro. I don't need that. Okay, I do. But I also appreciate what you and I are doing, which is get the information out to the fans, because it does give you some credibility for your future work, be it on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio or herosports.com or Mid-Major Madness. Okay, so there are two schools of thought there.
This came from the wise man that is Gary Moore. He once said that he never turned down, a speaking engagement or a chance to get the name and the brand of, Appalachian State football out there. And I wholeheartedly, believe in that. I mean, if I was just doing it for me to get paid, it wouldn't make any sense. The whole job in general wouldn't make sense to me, because really what you're doing is giving to the student athletes who play at smaller schools, but I feel like it's a Division I school, kids deserve as much attention for the sweat that they, and blood, sweat, and tears they give at their school as somebody at Michigan or at Notre Dame. I mean, why is that different, so... Well,
I would point out that there are probably a bunch of Notre Dame fan sites where, we could use writers, we can't pay you. I do know that the Rivals Notre Dame site, at least they used to, was offering, they were actually offering salary to their writers. I think it was like $30,000 a year, which isn't bad, considering the thing. I read the ad. The flip side about that is that, and I'm sure there are a bunch of Notre Dame fan sites where you don't get any coin, and all this. The flip side of Jerry Moore, though, is this. When you are writing for midmajor.com or Medium or Hero Sports, you're basically paid, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're paid by the article, okay? Now, Jerry Moore was paid pretty well to be the football coach at Appalachian State. So he could go out to the Boone Little League football and, oh, wow, we've got the Appalachian State coach, and make Mountaineers fans for life. And that was in his best interests. there is a little bit difference there and all that. So let's
Right.
not forget that too. That sort of thing.
That's
so.
true.
So anyway, we're talking to SoCon John Hooper, and also making demands to have us paid much better, which always is fun to listen to. But anyway, this just came out an hour or two ago. The new Southern Conference basketball schedule, essentially next year, conference games not on Thursday and Saturday, but rather Wednesday and Saturday. Big deal. What do you think the change is?
As far as what I think about the change, I think the coaches have made some, argument. I wouldn't call it an argument, but I guess conjecture or whatever you want to call it about at the spring meetings about not having enough time to if you're traveling, especially like if you're going from VMI to Sanford or something from that Thursday, but they tried to make it to where you didn't have to travel too far on that between that Thursday and Saturday. But I guess they set up the day of time. From what I've heard from coaches, is a huge deal, and I think that the only drawback to it if you're competing, that's a Wednesday night to a big night. I know Saturday is, but like on Thursday night, I think you were only competing with maybe the Pac-12. As far as like, the games nationwide. Now, there were some big conferences that play on Thursday nights, but mainly it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Saturday again. So I felt like Thursday night for a while was kind of a showcase night for the SoCon, but then I can see, I wondered, they're not going to play games on a Sunday, but I guess that the coaches probably have more say in that it getting changed than maybe the visibility of maybe on a night where you've got ACC, Big 10, Big 12 games on a Wednesday night. So, I think that's a hard decision to make, but you gotta do it in the best interest, I guess, of the student athlete getting back and getting to class on time, and then or being able to do their work on a Friday if they're on a away trip, and then turn around and play again Saturday. I guess they felt one more day was probably in the best interest, a day of rest to get schoolwork done, and also if you had to travel.
And I've heard Steve Forbes talk about that he is like this, and I think he's also talked about. I remember when the Southern Conference had a fully weekend schedule. That was about a generation ago, if you remember that.
It was cool. They had Saturday, Sunday games.
Yes. Why did that fall apart?
I don't know. I just remember it was kind of neat because, that was like the 90s. That was like early 90s, mid 90s.
I thought it was early 2000s. I mean, we have to check the dates and all that, but yeah.
About a decade. I think it was about a decade.
About a generation ago, that was done in the SoCon or ETSU. And as I recall, there was some talk about travel. I mean, if you were going from Saturday night and then you loaded up and you had to go to the Citadel or something from Johnson City, and this also may not have been an era in which I-26 took you directly from Charleston to Johnson City.
Right.
This was an era in which there was a 2-lane road with a barn that appeared to be falling over on, around in Flag Pond or so. Yeah, that sort of thing. That you had to go from Johnson City to Asheville. It was that sort of era. But nevertheless, he had a circumstance at that point where I think travel was kind of an issue and all this. Here's the one issue I see. I want to ask you about this, SoCon John Hooper, and I know you're in the Piedmont area, but, I know South Carolina enough that, isn't it said that in the low country, that's Charleston and all that, the question is, what do you drink? In the Midlands, Columbia and all that, it's where do you work? And in the Piedmont where you are, it's where do you go to church? That's the 3 questions of South Carolina? Am I not? Am I correct there?
True.
Okay,
yeah,
so let me just go with that. So, where you go to church is also really prevalent in the Tri-Cities. Okay, so we have that in common with the Piedmont. All right. You're talking about now playing SoCon basketball games on a Wednesday night. And to a lot of people, I've, joked many times, Tri-Cities is boring. A night on the town means church on Wednesday. Do you think that could possibly cut into the attendance at Southern Conference basketball games?
You know what, actually? This is a great crossover discussion, by the way. Temporary churches have pretty much cut out Wednesday night service, unless you're at a mega church. So I think that, at least in my area, Wednesday night church has kind of gone the way of the dinosaur, unless you're like playing maybe men's over 40 basketball or something.
Well, I got to tell you, it's an interesting thought, and yeah, maybe it is minimal, and eventually I think that, you can also say, look, the people that go to church on Wednesday, I mean, their activity might not be going to an ETSU basketball game. I'm not saying it never would be, but, maybe their focus is more on quote-unquote church events. However, I will say this. I started thinking about this because we broadcast the Unicoi County High School games. Basketball, football, baseball, and softball here on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. And I know that, Kevin Powers is the play-by-play broadcaster of the softball games. He has actually mentioned that, we're playing on Wednesday today, but we're moving up the game to, say, 5 p.m. from the traditional when we play on Tuesday at 5:30 so that the girls can get to church on Wednesday. I've heard him make that statement.
Well, I mean, so you're talking, would be a public school?
No, yeah, Unicoi County High School. And it's an idea of scheduling the softball game. And he admit now that could be just, the announcer theorizing. Maybe I should call Mr. Powers up and say that. But, yeah, I started thinking, you know what? They are starting this game a little bit earlier. Usually it's, 5:30 or 6, and they're starting it at 5, huh? Now, let me tell you something. I mean, you're not going to... Billy Saul Hargis used to joke that Del Rio, Texas was the gold buckle of the Bible Belt. No, poppycock. I would suggest to you it's the Tri-Cities, okay? But, so you may have more traditional church on Wednesday here than you do in other places. But I'm just curious. And I wonder how much it'll cut in.
There was actually a thing in the Atlantic Sun interned there. And Belmont, they're a Baptist,
Sure.
But they couldn't play on Sunday because of their religious affiliation or whatever. And there was actually a guy for ETSU that could not play on Sundays or Saturdays back in the day. He was Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes, yeah. I'll have to check. I do remember that. I mean, you got, sports history is filled with that. Sandy Koufax won't pitch on Yom Kippur,
Right.
So
I mean, there are certain, I guess, overlap, but like the A-Sun traditionally did schedule games on Sunday, and Belmont was never a part of that because they were a religious affiliated school, and they just chose not to play on Sunday, so that was totally up to them, and they played their games, I guess, back then it was like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday too, so it was pretty much standard around the nation now that it's gone that way, but
we'll see.
I think that the SoCon would do it, where they would go away with the... I like the Thursday night game, but I can also see it from a coach's perspective, where it's hard on the student athlete.
I do think that Thursday night is a bit... I mean, it's not Friday or Saturday, but it's a bit more of a going out night than Wednesday, night on the town type of thing.
Yeah.
I will give you that. I do think, could this cut in? I mean, a place like it, I don't know, maybe, 300 people out of 4,000 or 5,000 on a Wednesday. I could see that, sure. But I also do think that if it was like it was here a couple of years ago, and Furman was coming in against ETSU, and really the SoCon regular season title was on the line, and that game sold out. And I kind of think that if it's that big of a game and the rose is still in bloom, so to speak, that, it doesn't really make that much difference on Thursday or Wednesday. But I could see, the interference. How many people? I don't know, 100, 300. I could see it. Now, if that's going to send ETSU sports into ruin, I don't necessarily think so. But anyhow, hey, everybody, you know what? My belly is going to be in ruin because I can't go to Asian House today, but I can tomorrow, and I think I will. Hey, you'll get 10% off if you do by mentioning my name, Marky Billson, and here is our spot to tell you all about it.